Hi, YouTube. Hi. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining whenever you see this, if you see it on the replay or if you see it on my channel. I wanted to talk a little bit about sleep paralysis and tell you a little bit about an experience that I had when I was very young, about 8 years old. It coincided around the same time as when I was molested twice, two separate occasions, two separate people. I thought it was a figment of my imagination, and turns out that after I became an adult, I started researching it and realized that a lot of people go through sleep paralysis, and a lot of people don't know what it is or the connection between demonic or spiritual warfare and sleep paralysis. And so I'll tell you about my experience. The first time it happened to me, like I said, I was about 8 years old. I was spending the night at my cousin's house, which I did every weekend, almost. At the time, they lived in a trailer, really nice trailer. And my aunt had just had her son, Daniel, so he was a baby. And, of course, me and my cousin were up watching movies like little girls do and playing, and we fell asleep on the couch together watching a movie. I guess at some point she sneaked out and went back to the back of the trailer with her mom. Is that icing? Paint. Anyways, so she went back to the trailer with her mom, but I woke up and I remember looking at the VCR. For you young folks, you won't know what that is, but for other people, my generation, you'll know what that is. Anyways, it's, I don't know what time at night, probably 3 in the morning. Well, the numbers on the VCR light, because you know it's really bright and blue, I remember just like they were spinning, and then all of a sudden they all went to 0. And I'm on the couch that leads to the hallway, so I can see the hallway from where I am. And my cousin was on the couch across from me where she's close to the exit, the door, but she had left, like I said. So I'm looking at the VCR like, that's weird. And something gets my attention to where I look into the hallway, and I see this extremely tall man, a figure, skinny, extremely skinny and tall. So tall that his head was, he had to like kneel over in the archways, on the archways, and his head was very circular. At that time, I didn't know really much about like aliens or something, but as I got a little older, I used to think that maybe it was an alien that I saw. It's my son's aid. So this figure is standing in the hallway. Hold on, Zaid, let me tell my story, okay? This figure is standing in the doorway, and it's walking towards me, or like floating towards me, wearing all black, super duper tall. And within a second, it was right next to me, hovering over me, and I couldn't move. I was frozen. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't, other than overwhelming fear and just trying to scream, but you couldn't get anything out. I couldn't do anything, and I didn't pray. I probably should have, but I didn't know how to pray when I was younger. All of a sudden, even though there was no possible way for this to be, this is the inside part of the couch, and I'm facing this way, right? And he's hovering over me here, and there's the hallway straight ahead. A really large, short woman is right next to me, and they're speaking in some kind of an unknown language or communication form. I can't really remember. All I remember is that he said, "It's time," and she said, "She's not ready." And when she said, "She's not ready," they went back towards the end where my aunt's room was, which was like the end of the hallway, and they just vanished. I still couldn't wake myself up. In fact, I stayed there frozen for like, I don't know how many hours, because when I woke up, it was morning time. I know that I stayed awake, but the clock was still at 0000. Well, of course, when I woke up, I immediately got to my aunt's room in the back where my cousin had gone, and my baby cousin Daniel were at. And I told my aunt, I said, dear Ruth, I saw something. I think I saw people. Somebody broke into the house. I can't explain it. They were like figures. And of course, she discounted me. She's like, "Oh, you guys just watch too many scary movies, and why are you making stuff up?" And so I didn't tell anybody at that time, not even my mom. Well, fast forward a couple years, and it really started getting more frequent during the time frame of my life where I was really, really lost and really sad and depressed. And up until right before I had my son, I used to have these incidents of sleep paralysis where you feel like, hey, mister, you feel like you cannot breathe, you feel like you cannot scream, you feel like you cannot, that they're going to hurt you, they're going to kill you. Aw, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm talking about sleep paralysis. I will sing again one day. Not feeling very musical. Struggling with a lot of stuff, but I'll be back on track to sing soon. So just amongst the research that I've been doing, it turns out that, there's these things called shadow people. And what I'm coming to realize is that, sleep paralysis is really more related to spiritual warfare. I think that at that time, something happened to me when I was molested, and it allowed them to come into my life. And maybe they had some kind of a motive or plan, but I faltered it, I think, because I found God. And finally am really leaning towards, not leaning, but learning more about the Bible and the Word of God and all that. And I really think that it's important to talk about these experiences because so many people have had them. If you look on YouTube and Google, like Connie Yum, so many other people, YouTubers that have had these experiences, you got to pray. You got to pray to God and pray to God through Jesus that He'll protect you from those spiritual entities, because they were evil. They were evil, and they instilled so much fear in me that, I couldn't sleep for a very long time. Not only had I already been traumatized from being molested at that age twice, like within a 6-month period, on 2 separate occasions, 2 completely different people, but then add that on top of everything, and you got a really like a messed up mind, and it continued on. Like I said, I partied. I did my drinking days. I did my, you know, dating and not having, holy connections with people. It was more of dating and how we do it now in our generation. And I would have it so often, and thankfully now I don't have it anymore, and I'm going to pray that every night I, have a clean mind, a clean heart. My house is clean of spirits, because there's a lot of things that you can do without knowing that invites those spirits in, especially like drugs or medication or drinking and things like that. So I'm not judging anyone who does what they do. I judge righteously only against those who are evil, or against those who are doing wrong towards others. What you do to yourself is your choice, but I definitely cleaned up my act, and now wanted to share my experiences, because you never know what your story might trigger in another person. Maybe they'll come to a realization like I did researching other YouTubers. But sorry it wasn't a singing video. I have really become disillusioned with the music industry. If you look at my playlist, Illuminati or Trusting God, if you follow me on Facebook or Periscope or any of those places, you'll know that, I'm having what they call the come to Jesus. I was recently baptized, and the attacks on me from Satan have been much stronger and much harder to fight off than they ever have been my whole life. And that was after I bought my first Bible, which mysteriously went missing. Still haven't found it to this day. First Bible I ever owned, ever had, ever started reading, and was thirsty for knowledge. And after that, I forgot what my point was, but anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys and let you know. Oh, my point was about music. Those who want me to sing, there's so many artists that are tied up in the occult and in, Satanism and in all these horrible things, mind control and brainwashing the youth with their messages and their music, that I can't sing their songs. I can't feel good about it anymore. So the only thing you're going to hear me sing these days is going to be probably Christian music, if anything, or original music, because it doesn't come from a place of trying to control anyone. But I have a lot of other talents that hopefully my true friends and fans and subscribers will appreciate. Anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And let me know if you want to hear more about, or what you want to hear more about. There's so many things that, that I do and that I'm a part of. So, y'all have a good night, and please pray before you go to bed. Pray that God keeps you safe and keeps all those demonic spirits and all those, any negative spirits or energies that are coming your way, and keeps them out of your house and out of your heart and out of anyone's heart around you, because they can infiltrate from a lot of different places. Trust me, even in your own friends and family, the attacks can be pretty bad. Anyways, guys, love ya. Thanks for watching. Whoever was watching, those 3 people, y'all are the bomb. Talk to you later. Say bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.